Hi everyone, my name's Meg and today I am bringing you a really exciting activity that will hopefully help you to get out into nature and enjoy being outdoors. Now, we are really lucky in this area to be surrounded by lots and lots of different types of trees, and trees are so important for our environment, for our well-being, and just they're really lovely to be around, I've always found. Now, I don't know if you know this, but actually it is National Tree Week on the 28th of November until the 6th of December. So we thought what a perfect time to start celebrating the trees. Now, in this activity, you're only going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a permanent marker, and you're going to need some leaves and the chance and opportunity to go outside and get some. So it might be worth speaking to a grown-up, whoever's at home, to help organise a time that you can go out either into the garden or to the local park or just to some green space that's near you. They might need to accompany with you, and that is where you're going to gather most of the resources that you're going to need for this activity. So, as I said, we're super lucky to be around trees, and I have a lot of respect for them because some of them are really small saplings that have just started to grow and are really, really tiny. Others are really massive 100-year-old oak trees that have been there for so long. Some of them are tree stumps, some of them are, they like to flow in the wind. There's lots and lots of different types of trees, and there's lots of different places that you'll find them. Now, we have noticed that at this time of the year quite a lot of the leaves have started to drop off the trees. Obviously we're coming into autumn and winter, and we know that all of the colours change on the leaves and a lot of them drop off and the branches are left bare. Now, quite sadly for some of the leaves, they're actually looking to be reunited with their tree, and this is exactly where you can help. So we would love it if you can organise a chance to get outside. Like I said, ask a grown-up if you need some help with that. And we would love for you to look for lots of different types of leaves. Now, it would be good to do this on a dry day if you can. But if you've just not got an option and it just keeps raining, then you can go out in the rain and you'll just have to let the leaves dry off a little before we do the next stage. So, have a look for different leaves that you find interesting. Don't pull them off of the branches, but just have a look on the floor and see which ones have naturally dropped away. It could be that you find some really teeny tiny ones. It could be that you find some absolutely huge, really grand leaves. They're probably all going to be in different colours. Some might be flat, some might be more curved. Have a look and see what you can find and gather them. It'll be really interesting to see whether you find different leaves in different places, depending on the types of trees that they have there. But gather anything at all that you find interesting and bring them back home with you. Now, as I said before, if you need to dry them out, you're going to need to do this maybe overnight even if they're really, really wet through. But once you have got some dry leaves, we can move on to the next stage of the activity. And if you need to pause this at any time, obviously if you need to come back, go out and get your leaves and then revisit this, then that's absolutely fine. But I'll talk you through the next stage once I've been out and collected some leaves for myself. So I've decided to come out into the garden to look for some leaves. So I've immediately spied this one here. Looks quite dry on the outside, so that looks like a good one. Obviously you might have trees in your garden or you might have them in your local park, so just wherever it is that you can find some, because I'm sure there will be some that have fallen down here. So there's another one there that I might take. It's a different one, all different pattern, different shapes and sizes. So just have a look, see what it is that you like the look of. I'm going to get a small one here like that. And just have a little root around. Try not to pull them off the branches of a tree, just because obviously they're not ready to part with their tree at that point. But anything that you can find, collect a handful and then leave them to dry when you get back in. Okay, so I've been out and I have gathered some leaves myself. I've got them just here, I will show you. I've got a few different types. I've got some green ones that are quite flat. I've got some that are quite curved and curled, and I've left these to dry for a little while just so that they've got the opportunity to be ready to be written on. Now, hopefully you'll notice that a lot of the textures are different, the sizes, the colours, and that probably means that they're from different types of trees. Now, these poor leaves will just be so grateful that you found them because they are looking to seek their original tree. So this is where the marker comes in. So I've got one here. It doesn't matter what colour you've got. Probably a darker colour would work a little bit easier, but I've got one here and ready. Now, the idea is that we are going to reunite the leaf with the tree. So, for example, this leaf here, it's quite thorny actually on the stem, I've found. It's green, it's quite waxy. Have a think about the texture and the feel. So I think that this has probably come, rather than a tree, I think it's probably come from a shrub, whereas I think that this leaf here has 100% come from a tree. So I want you to try, if you can, to flatten the leaf out a little bit. And then on either side, I'm going to choose this side just because it's a little bit lighter, so I think the pen will show up a bit better. We will write the description of the tree that they are searching for. So for example, you could have lost, great willow tree, tall with tendril branches. Now we want you to be as descriptive as possible here because, I don't know if you've noticed, there's absolutely thousands upon thousands of trees in this area. There's millions and millions and millions all across the world. So we need to be really specific so that we can definitely reunite the leaf with the correct tree. We don't want to be pairing them up with somebody that they've never met before. That's not the aim of this exercise. So we will write a description on the back of the leaf, and then once we've done that, we'll move on to the next stage. So what you can see here is that I'm going to write on, I think it's a beech leaf, so I'm going to write lost. You have to be really gentle as well. Lost, tall and impressive beech tree, autumnal colours. Okay, so as you can see, I have just labelled my tree. So we've got lost, tall and impressive beech, autumnal colours. So now anyone that finds this leaf knows exactly what kind of tree we are looking to reunite it with, and that is precisely the next step. So you can do this for as many leaves as you like. There might well be a few that you want to label, and then we think it would be really lovely if you could leave these outside for people to find. So that could be out in the garden for another member of your family to find. It could be on the way to school, it could be in the local park, wherever you want to leave it, that's absolutely fine. But hopefully that will just help these poor leaves be reunited with the trees that they've been separated from. And I really hope that you are able to help us with this journey. It's a terrible time for a leaf, is autumn. So we're really hoping that you'll be able to get on board and help us with that. So if you have enjoyed this activity, maybe try and see if you can make some more time to get outside into nature. See what else you can find. You might find some conkers, some acorns, some pine cones. See what there is. Maybe it might be nice to take some like rubbings with coloured pencils in a journal and think about the different textures, the colours, what they all look like. You could do any kind of descriptive writing, but for now, just helping us with reuniting the leaves is super, super helpful. So thank you very much. So if you would like to share with us what you've been doing, you can do on social media. You can post your photos of your leaves looking to be reunited, and you can tag us at Grimm&Co, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you like. Just let us know. You can also email us any other writing that you do to info@grimmandco.co.uk via email, because we'd love to see what you've been doing and share it on our social media. And thank you for watching and joining in.